Good morning. Today is a nice and crisp 17 degrees outside, which warrants a change of clothing. Anyways, since it is a nice and crisp 17 degrees outside, I thought today would be the perfect day to talk about ads. You know, everybody's favorite thing to see when they load up YouTube or are out in public and you just see ads. You know, who doesn't like a good ad? That was rhetorical, if you couldn't tell, but ads are the bane of a lot of people's existence. Now I get it. Advertisements are meant to help businesses to grow and to promote their business and help them gain more customers and more traction. But in some cases, ads get so obnoxiously tragic, I should say, to the point where is it not annoying to watch that ad over and over and over again? An example of an ad that I've experienced recently that has driven me to the ends of this earth is the Amazon ad. Like that little jingle sound they play, and followed by like either an old grandma or a son picking out a gift for the grandma. Like, I get it, they're trying to be wholesome. They're like, wow, Amazon can bring you happiness, yes, happiness. And you're just like, yeah, but is it truly happiness that you're experiencing when you listen to a Amazon ad play songs about a grandma receiving a gift over and over again? Now, this might not be their problem, because at the train station I'm at, I swear they play this ad every single time, without breaks as well. It's just over and over and over again. That little jingle gets stuck in your head and you're like, man, I just want to get rid of this bloody jingle. And the guy keeps playing it over and over again like it's the only ad they have running. Anyways, another ad I want to talk about is the Telstra ad. Now, if you're Australian, like me, you would probably know what the Telstra ad is. It is a very obnoxious ad that came out a while ago, which was some guy whistling. And now you might be asking, what's so annoying about a guy whistling? Watch the ad. To be honest, I don't really know how to explain it, but that ad just pissed off a lot of people. You know, that guy like walking around like, and then he like blows a couple of tunes and he's like, yes men, I'm buy a Telstra plan. And if you don't know, Telstra is like not sponsored by the way, but they are a SIM card internet provider, you know. Still haven't got my lucky drops back, by the way, but you know, it's whatever. And now I want to move on to mobile ads. You know, who doesn't like a good Raid Shadow Legends ad once in a while? Look, I know mobile ads are like low effort and they don't really put much time into, well, for most of the ones I've seen, there's very minimal effort in what they have put as a whole into their product. Like, it'll be a throwaway game half of the time, and it'll be like, oh, you know, our game is like that little swipe thing where you swipe across and it's like, power up your character by swiping to the left to get plus 5 trillion, and then swipe to the right to get like minus 5 billion. And it's like every single time back in the day, they always swipe to the worst side and they're like, oh wow, he lost, but can you beat the level? And in all retrospect, I can see from a design perspective how that could be, you know, intriguing for people to download the free game with ads in it. Like, I know it may be intriguing, but it doesn't work when every single other ad in existence is literally promoting the same thing, where the guy steps in, he chooses the wrong option like 50 times over, and then they're like, you know, you've seen ads like this 700 times before, but you know, our ad is different because our guy chose -50 trillion and the other ad chose -2 billion, and you know, there's a big difference between that, because 50 trillion and 2 billion are like numbers apart, you know. Yeah, and another one I've seen is sponsored ads. Now, I'm all for people getting their bread up, right? But surely games can afford a better like script for the people that they're trying to get to sponsor them, because you cannot tell me that every single person that has sponsored Raid Shadow Legends has to go off the same exact script every single time. Now, hats up to sponsors recently, because I've seen quite a number of games come out with new ideas for sponsors, which I find very intriguing, because you know, maybe they finally realized that the world wasn't all -5 billion and -5 trillion and like swiping to the left and right, and now I see the guy in the ad actually winning the game. He's like, guys, it's time to swipe to the right, because you can actually win if you swipe to the right, unless, you know, it's an unbeatable boss. But I've seen ads more recently that they've actually been getting the game correct, which I guess is also an incentive for people to play the game, because one of the slogans I've heard recently is, "This is not like other games, this game is actually what it looks like in the ad," which is what leads us into misleading ads. Yes, I've had my fair deal of misleading ads, and let me tell you, misleading ads are some of the most scummiest things you can ever see on this earth. For example, back in the day when I was a chronic phone child, I would load up a lot of ads on, you know, those weird games that would be like, oh, you know, since our game is like bare bone run of the mill in the hills, we gotta let ads sponsor us. And so they put in a bunch of ads, right? It was like unavoidable ads. It's like at the top they got that weird circle and they're like, oh, you gotta wait 30 seconds to watch the next one, 30 seconds to be able to skip it, or you know, something like that is what I remember. I remember getting absolutely misled to the point where it was just like, what are these ads even for if they're not actually promoting anything that's relevant to their game? Because I remember there was this Angry Birds ad out at one time for, I can't remember which game, but there was one of the Angry Birds games where I swear they intentionally used the most like beautiful ad design I have ever seen in a game in a while. They were like, oh, look at this new Angry Birds game. It's like you can slingshot all these new birds around, and it's like, okay. I downloaded the game unsuspecting. Well, God forbid me from being a child and, you know, being interested in something, but you know, I was like, hey, this game actually looks pretty decent. I was like, yeah, let me download it. And when I downloaded it, it became the biggest biggest scam in the world, because I ended up downloading Angry Birds Pop, which was like, I mean, it's not a bad game, but how did Angry Birds go from, you know, slingshotting birds to popping bubbles. You know, is that excitement that gets taken away from you when you're feeling the, you know, the need to play a very happy game, a very exciting thing that you've seen in an ad, and you realize, what, I've been scammed, which is another thing that happens in real life with those weird, what do they call them, infomercials, I think. It's like where they advertise all those rubbish things, and they lure a bunch of old people into buying their stuff, which is like, okay, is that really ethical? I don't think so, but I guess it's the only thing that old people really watch, so I mean, the target audience is there, you can get it, I guess. And then it comes to ads that I actually enjoyed, or were actually pretty decent. I remember back in the day there was a, what was it, a menu log ad with that like catchy jingle. That one was actually a pretty good ad because they actually put effort into it. Who was it again? Was it Cardi B? Forgive me, I'm not really that well versed in Cardi B, but whoever made that ad, I'm pretty sure, put a lot of effort into their that ad, because I remember that ad being very well received in very well received in a lot of places that I saw, because the ad was actually high budget, which was you know, very very unprecedented back in the day, because not many ads actually utilize the you know, the usage of, you know, quality. Thank goodness I won this match. Forgive me for going off track there, but I just needed to win because this is going to be the last match I played today. But what I'm saying is, ads can be good and bad, you know. When you rock up with the Telstra ad, please don't rock up with the Telstra ad. You know, that ad drove me, and the Amazon one drove me to the ends of this earth. I will stand on that hill that those two ads are the worst ads that have come out in recent days for big companies. Mobile ads, I mean, they've been the same forever. I mean, recently they've been changing a bit. Like, they've gotten TikTokers and YouTubers to, like, you know, actually play their game. Except for that one I've seen recently, which was like Ice Age something. It was like the acting for that ad was a bit overblown, but you gotta get that bread up, I guess. And fuck misleading ads, because I do not want to play or buy something that is not what you've shown on the ad. And in general, there's nothing we can really do, because without ads, a lot of companies wouldn't be able to break the market. And that's just how our economy is nowadays, so... What was this run for? No idea. I just wanted to talk about ads. Alright, that's the end of today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.